The Georgia State Athletic Commission takes exception to Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Jake Paul announcing their fight, marketing their fight without approval from the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission. Smash the like, sub to the channel, share the video, turn on your notifications. We live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. So, according to this article just written on USA Today, the chairman of the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission, the commission that is going to be voting whether or not to approve Tank Davis and Jake Paul, his name is Rick Thompson. He has some very choice words for Jake and Tank fighting. He says it's the dumbest ish he's ever heard. It's a money grabber, and he's not okay with that. And he doesn't like the arrogance of Tank Davis and Jake Paul announcing their fight, marketing their fight, having press conferences and shit before the commission can vote whether or not they're going to approve the fight. He calls it arrogance. Their concerns, obviously, the weight discrepancy between the two. In the state of Georgia, two competitors cannot outweigh each other by more than 9 pounds. Tank and Jake Paul's team have already submitted a rule waiver request to get that rule waived. And Rick Thompson also said in this article that he is expecting the committee to put it to a vote as to whether or not they're going to approve this fight on September the 18th when they're meeting again. Also, we got some insight that USA Today tried to reach out to other members of the committee, and all of them declined to comment on what's going on. But what I do know is that the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission, it's a 5-person panel that's going to be voting on this Tank Davis, Jake Paul shit. If they get 3 votes in favor, then the fight's going to go forward. You only got to win 3-2. So basically majority rules or whatever. Rick Thompson is making it clear that he's already voting against this shit. Is the fight in jeopardy? Will the fight happen? Will it not happen? I'm standing firm on what I said, bro. Ain't no way in hell Netflix, Jake Paul's team, Tank Davis's team, ain't no way in hell they ain't talked to this committee. I think either A, Rick Thompson is the renegade lone wolf that's gonna vote against it, or B, all this shit is for show. But I fully anticipate them to get 3 votes and the fight's gonna go forward as planned. Money talks and bullshit walks. Georgia ain't seen an event like this, bro. They not gonna have another opportunity to get an event like this. And it's gonna hurt them moving forward for Jake Paul or Tank Davis. Anyone looking to come to Atlanta, they may hold this against them if this shit don't go through. So that's the news, right? That's what's going on. So we get big news on September the 18th, and that's actually a day that Tank and Jake are supposed to be having a press conference. Wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be ironic if the day of their press conference is the day that the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission refuses to approve the bout? And the main thing they're saying is the weight difference. And Rick Thompson also said he don't consider Jake Paul to even be a real fighter. Like, he's not even a competitive fighter for real. He don't consider him a fighter. So, will the fight go on? Will it not go on? Should it go on? Should it not go on? Fight should never fucking happen, bro. He's 100% right. The weight difference is crazy. It's absolutely crazy, right? Tank Davis weighed 133, 134 pounds his last fight. Jake Paul weighed 199 pounds his last fight. There's no way they can get within that 9-pound rule limit, which is why they're requesting a waiver. Which is why they're requesting a waiver for this shit. I ain't see nothing wrong that Rick Thompson said, but with the money, the amount of money that Netflix stands to make, the amount of money that Tank Davis, Jake Paul, and Boxing 10 would stand to make, ain't no way this shit don't go through, because Netflix shoots a lot of movies. And if they stop bringing the movies to Atlanta, that's going to hurt the state of Georgia. Jake Paul does a lot of big events. Any Jake Paul events in the future probably won't come to Georgia if this shit don't go through. Tank Davis done fought in Atlanta before. Used to live in Atlanta. It's a big name. You ain't getting no shot at getting no more Tank Davis fights if they don't approve this shit. It's too much money on the line, bro. I don't believe that this shit is not gonna go through and not gonna happen. But it is some opposition to it, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Jake Paul should be fighting another YouTuber somewhere. Some trash ass, old ass, retired MMA fighter or something like that can't box. And Tank Davis should be fighting the Lamont Roaches, the Shakur Stevensons, the Team Lee Foods, the Devin Haney's, the Gary Antoines, the Richardson Hitchens of the world, bro. That's what should be happening in a professional sport. But we all know boxing is the wild, wild west. We all know boxing changes and does what the hell it wants to do when it wants to do it. We all know this, bro. So with that being said, I think this is much to do about nothing. Now you're going to hear people tell you, oh, the fight's in jeopardy. The fight ain't happening. Tank Davis and Jake Paul is off. Rick Thompson, the Georgia Athletic Entertainment Commission, they standing up for the sport of boxing. They doing this, they doing. You're going to hear all this shit. And it's going to be after this because ain't nobody else even talking about this shit. They'll watch my video. They won't tell you that they watched my video. And then they'll come out and they'll act like they saw this shit first. And they reporting on it fresh. That's what's going to happen. But just remember where you heard it first, bro. This is what's going on. And I told y'all this was going on. But I stand on everything I say. And I'd be shocked. Just as shocked as Tank fighting Jake Paul in the first place. I'd be shocked if someone the likes of Al Heyman didn't dot his I's and cross his T's. And if he don't know for a fact, he got at least 3 votes to get this shit approved. Because there's 5 people voting on this shit September 18th, whether or not to approve this fight. Between Netflix, Al Heyman, Jake Paul's team, I find it hard to believe they don't go into this already knowing that they got 3 votes to get this shit approved. Maybe even 4. They might have all 5 of them, and this guy, Rick Thompson, is just, doing some public shit. Politicking. People in these positions, these political positions, these commission type of positions, these city councils, presidents, senates, Congress, they do this shit all the time. Get in front of the camera, get on the interview and be talking all crazy about somebody. Talking all crazy about this event. And he could be having lunch with Jake Paul's people today. Talking crazy yesterday and be having lunch with Al Heyman's people today. Talking crazy while already having the meeting scheduled, knowing damn well he about to approve this shit. So I don't put nothing past him. I'm going to follow the money, bro. Everybody involved in this shit is too reputable in the realm of business for me to believe that they just announced this shit willy-nilly and then it's going to get shot down after they announce it. That would be crazy. Now, that would be some bad business for you people saying Tank and his team doing bad business. That would be bad business to have done this shit and then get it shot down by the commission because you didn't make sure the commission would approve it first. Yeah, that would be trash. But I fully anticipate September 18th for that shit to go through and for the commission to say, we're going to go ahead and approve this fight. There's too much money involved. Oh, we found out what the rules are. We found out the precautions that they're taking. And now we feel comfortable letting them move forward with the fight. Some bullshit like that. Watch what I tell you. Smash the like, sub to the channel. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.